Well, this is Nick of Gladden, and I'd like to do a Runekeeper DPS test for you today. And let's start off with these spiders. Okay, my rotation. With this two-piece Erebor set, I can stack usually an extra Fiery Radical. I was keeping 2 on there on average and doing a normal rotation on top of that. But with that two-piece set, I tend to be able to stack 3, which is pretty nice. Now the DPS rotation is pretty simple on fire, really, because there's only 5 skills there to work with. But there's a few tricks that could help you improve it just a little bit, which is kind of nice, like Rid of Cold. That will reduce the cooldown of Scathing Mockery a little bit. I believe it's 2 seconds per use, so that has potential to add more damage right there. And also, since fire is a lot of inductions, I like to add in a few, lightning skills here and there. But mainly focus on fire. As you can see, you get darn decent DPS with it. On this test, I added melee attacks in there just for the fun of it, and it did add a couple hundred DPS to the total, but that's very unrealistic because you'll never do that in a raid situation, or even a 6-man for that matter. Now moving on to lightning. The trick with this is you do 5 attacks, and then you will get a crit on the 6th, I believe, or yeah, I believe that's right. And you could do, maybe Epic Inclusion to maximize that DPS output. But I still like to add in Rid of Fire a lot of times, and maybe even Rid of Cold. And also you can do Chilling Rhetoric, and Essence of Storm will have a 50% chance to crit, which is pretty nice. That actually crits quite high sometimes.
Probably not that great.
Okay, now this is a fire test on the Warlord. The reason I'm not doing the school boss in this run is because the AoE attacks, and I might end up dying, and it might affect the DPS. Now, what I find the differences between lightning and fire is, fire peaks a little later, but is typically slightly higher, just judging off a single target. Lightning's very close. So what that means basically is, in solo or 3-mans, yes, lightning is perhaps more convenient. But with anything with multiple mobs or longer fights, like in 6-mans or raids, fire would definitely leave lightning in the dust. Now here is lightning on a Warlord. It's highly dependent on crits, is what I find. Whereas fire is pretty consistent all around, even without critting very much. So that's another thing to factor in as well. But the side note, lightning, you can move around. It's very mobile, very convenient. And fire is a lot of induction skills. Well, they're all induction skills, I should say. But with the bonuses on the fire trait line, you can remove inductions on some of the skills at sometimes. So, thank you for watching. Please enjoy the rest of the video.